Now to an all-new Fox 23 investigation. If your child goes to daycare, you may not be getting what you think you're paying for. The system that Oklahoma's DHS uses to rate daycares may be artificially inflated.
Tulsa's investigative reporter Janna-Clark explains how families could soon lose the financial help they're getting to pay for daycare.
This is a 5-star daycare in Tulsa, Legacy Child Care Education Center at 47th and Mingo. The owner, Whitney McCrory, says it used to be a 3-star in 2022. That was the highest it could be at the time. At the beginning of 2023, DHS changed the system from a 3 to a 5-star scale.
What was the reason for wanting to raise the stars?
When you think of a star level, a lot of people think about hotels, and so you want a 5-star hotel, so only going to 3-star was confusing, so they said we're going to go from 1 to a 5.
At that time, federal money flooded into DHS because of the pandemic. Whitney says DHS used it to revamp the star system.
And I guess they felt like there was no better time to do it because we had all of this extra funding.
Problem is, she says, tons of daycares were asking to be 5 stars.
It was a time where they weren't doing in-person visits, so there was no one coming out to verify. It was basically the honor system. You know, you just check the boxes, I'm meeting these things, you submit something, and they just said, you're good to go, you're 5 stars.
They were just rubber stamping it?
Yes.
No one was coming out to check?
No.
The number of 5-star daycares in Oklahoma went through the roof. Before the switch, in 2018, there were 300 3-star daycares. In 2023, less than 1 year after the switch, there were 1,200 5 stars.
That's quadruple.
Yeah, it's a huge jump.
How do you go from 300 to 1,200?
From the honor system.
They were just going by what these daycares said, but there was no proof.
Absolutely.
Why do you think that happened?
I think that they were so overwhelmed with the amount of people that were saying I'm a 5-star program that they didn't want to go verify, or that they didn't have the manpower.
When DHS made all those daycares 5 stars, it cost a lot more money. The star rating level is tied to child care subsidy rates.
The way that the star system works with DHS is that the higher your star level, the higher your reimbursement rate.
So you get more money from DHS if you're a higher star facility?
Yes.
How much more? The full day rate for a 5-star with a child 1 year or younger is about $51 a day. For a 2-star, it's less than half, about $23 a day.
There are real incentives to being a 5-star.
Yes.
No doubt. That's why everybody wanted to do it.
Everybody wanted to be 5 stars, and they allowed everybody to become 5 stars.
Right now, if you look at child care locator numbers from DHS, just in Tulsa, there are 404 daycares. More than half, 212 of those, are 5-star daycares.
Is there any way that many daycares should be 5-star?
No.
DHS wrote, the original projections significantly underestimated the number of programs that would reach the highest levels. And now Whitney says that federal funding DHS has been using has run out. DHS calls it funding challenges. DHS says the funds were depleted in May 2024.
Because they are funding these facilities at a high quality level and a high reimbursement rate, they quickly and rapidly ran out of funding. They are operating at a deficit right now. Significant deficit.
Right now, DHS is in debt?
Yes. We are on the edge of a cliff. We are just hanging by a thread.
I asked DHS how big the deficit is. They haven't answered my specific question, but instead sent me this statement that says, the pandemic-era level of spending is unsustainable without a significant potential impact to other vital services that Oklahomans depend on every day. We are considering modifications to the subsidy and quality rating and improvement system ratings. Our objective in this process is to have minimal interruption for those who depend on subsidy. Ta-da! One of DHS's proposed solutions is to lower the income threshold for families to qualify for financial help for daycare.
So fewer families would qualify right now?
A lot fewer. There's 15% of families that would qualify for free and reduced child care, but they will no longer have access to it, and they will have to pay private pay out of pocket.
Whitney says there's also a current effort for DHS to look for ways to reduce daycare's star rating level. Then they wouldn't have to pay daycares as much.
They are talking about lowering stars for things like non-compliances. You can have one mistake and you can lose your stars, and they're not taking you from a 5 to a 4. They're taking you from a 5 to a 2.
She said some programs that never truly deserved 5 stars should be reduced, but she's afraid some good ones may just get burned in the process.
They are headhunting.
Well, they're in trouble.
They've got to cut things, and this is their solution. Is it's going to affect families, it's going to affect providers, it's going to affect staff. It's a huge mess. There's so many things that went awry with DHS, and now our families are the ones left holding the bill. It's horrible. It's disgusting.
What do you think should happen with DHS?
I think that we need more transparency. I do. I think that we need to look for solutions that are not going to hurt our families and our providers. I think that these families, these children, deserve the world, and lowering access to high-quality program is not the answer for that.
In Tulsa, covering news that matters, Janna-Clark, Fox 23 News.
If the board approves to change the child care subsidy, it will go into effect the beginning of next year.
Also, if you're looking for a daycare, one way to separate one 5-star facility from the others is to look for those that are accredited. That means the daycare has been approved by someone outside of DHS and considers that daycare a high-quality program.
We've also told you Oklahoma's DHS is under scrutiny right now, and state lawmakers are gearing up for an investigation into the department after some serious accusations, including covering up child abuse. Now, the request for that investigation is expected to be formally made tomorrow.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think janna-clark should investigate? Let us know. Email FOX23 Investigates at fox23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search FOX23 Janna-Clark on Facebook.